By the name of God, this is Shadow Economic Presentation, and my name is Aref Mamian. I am going to discuss about the definition of informal economy and give some statistics about informal economy in different sector in Malaysia. And King will discuss about the challenges of shadow economy, and Lizella will continue with the solution and external and conclusion of shadow economy. Defining the informal economy known as shadow economy or underground economy, it's hard for many scholars and researchers because there is a different type of activities and the different perspective. But the general explanation of informal economy contains all undocumented and unrecorded economic activity contributed to GNP and GDP that officially calculated. For example, illegal activities like trade with stolen goods, drug dealing, gambling, smuggling, and something like this. But there is also legal activities that only is unreported income from self-employment, wage, salaries, and asset from unreported work. But unfortunately, they don't give taxes, and there is no control on these sector like formal economy compared to formal economy. This is the informal sector work in 2017 from Malaysia and shows that in number of employee in the informal sector and share from the employment in the non-agricultural sector decreased from 2015 to 2017. For example, 1.40 million to 1.36 million in 2017. However, in the contribution of male increased from 50% to 61%, while for female it's decreased from 49% to 38%. On the other hand, in startup, we can see that in informal economic increase from 2015 to 2017, while for rural area it's decreased. One of the reasons can be because in rural area the people they don't have a formal job. They go to urban area to work in informal sector to get more income. While in educational attainment, we can see the primary and non-formal education, the contribution decreased from 2015 to 2017. About the status in employment, we can see on-account worker, which is 69.4% in 2017, were the main component of informal economic that are employed. Thank you, and Kim will discuss about the next part, which is challenges faced by Malaysia. Thank you.
My name is Qing, and now I will continue the presentation. As we can see from these two tables, main reasons of Malaysian shadow economy are GDP growth, corruption, democratic accountability. Tax revenue to GDP ratio has declined progressively in recent years. If the informal sectors and unregistered individual taxpayers are capturing the tax net, tax revenue will be boosted. With a local shadow economy of ringgit 300 billion, a 1% tax collection will translate into 3 billion additional revenue. Recently, Malaysian government has declared war on shadow economy activities in the country. This call was made clear by the Minister of Finance Malaysia during his keynote and the address at the last National Taxation Seminar 2019. And on top of that, several government agencies like the Malaysian Inland Revenue Board, in short name is LHDN, and the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission are strengthening their SOPs to combat the said activity. In this context, LHD and tracking activities are also critical in detecting those who have failed to report their income despite having doubled their income, compared to those who earn modest income but still pay income tax. As mentioned, a mandate has been given to LHDN to continue strengthening their SOPs. Nevertheless, LHDN does acknowledge the fact that they are having a hard time detecting the economy activity as it comes from the hidden and informal sectors. This had led LHDN to develop the revenue transformation plan by incorporating the capability of big data, analytical and artificial intelligence to help enhance the compliance, plug loopholes, and check losses. Based on the IMF policy paper, Malaysia's size of shadow economy has been trading lower. There are a lot of challenges faced in tackling the shadow economy, such as the rapid globalization, fast evolving business environment shaped by the deployment of technology, as well as the rise of gig and sharing economy would have made it more complex for the tax authorities to track, measure, and control the shadow economy. Then shadow economy, adverse economic and social implications are an erosion of tax base, price and competition distortions in the marketplace, the influx of lower quality goods that pose health hazard to consumers, rampant corruptions, and the degradation of economy and the social institution, which affect the productivity and the lower economy growth. So that's on my part. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenters.
Several solutions that have been suggested, and some of it has been used in several countries in capturing the shadow economy. These solutions can be divided into two approaches, which is the direct and indirect approach. Direct approach is a microeconomic approach that employs well-designed survey or tax auditing. Survey refers to an assessment that are taken through direct questionnaire and interviews. This method has been used in Norway, Denmark, and Germany. Meanwhile, tax auditing is based on the discrepancy between incomes declared for tax purpose and that measured by selective checks. Moving on to indirect approach. Indirect approach using various economic and other indicators that contain information about the development of the shadow economy. There are 4 different types of indicators that can be used in measuring or capturing the shadow economy. The first one is the currency demand approach, assuming that shadow transactions are undertaken in the form of cash payment. So when there is increase of shadow activity in the economy, it will reflected on the high demand for currency. The next one is the transaction approach, which relates to the total nominal gross national product or GNP transaction. GNP of the shadow economy can be calculated by subtracting the official GNP from the total nominal GNP. The next 2 indicators can be obtained from the discrepancy between national expenditure and income statistic. The next one is from the discrepancy between the officials and the actual labor force. The next method is through the physical input or electricity consumption method. This method, assuming that electrical power consumption is regarded as single best physical indicator for the overall economy, which constitute both officials and informal activity. Deriving the GDP of shadow economy is calculated by subtracting the GDP of officials from the overall economy based on the electrical consumption. One of the solution or methods in reducing the size of the passive shadow economy through the use of electronic payment. Electronic payment system make it difficult to participate in the shadow economy because it produces documentations of the transaction. To conclude, it is important to design effective measure and solution to capture shadow economy so that the GDP value reflect the true state of the economy. So any policy that had been undertaken or implemented in addressing the economic issue are appropriate and compatible. That's all from us. Thank you.